Hello, I'm John Geib. I'm a vegetable specialist in the Big Country Master Gardener Association. Welcome to our series of videos talking about what to do in your vegetable garden in the following month. Well, the new year is here. Time for new beginnings. While most people think of the winter as a time to be relaxed and enjoy the new season, most of us West Texas gardeners understand that it is time to actually get really busy and get started for next year's vegetable garden. So, what should we be doing in the month of January in our vegetable garden? Well, unless you've been very lucky and very diligent, all of your frost tender plants have died for the season. But keep in mind that the weather forecast is important right now. Our temperatures can fluctuate easily between 30 degrees and 70 degrees, which can easily stress out our poor plants in the garden. Any citrus plants that you have will need to be protected for the frosts and freezes for the rest of the season. This usually means bringing them inside during the cold nights and bringing them back out again later in the mornings after the frost has dissipated. If the plant is a small plant and the frost is supposed to be a fairly light frost, you may be able to get by with just a small frost cloth over top of your plant just to keep it covered for the one night. Your cool weather crops should already be planted in the garden. Keep these watered as usual and maintain them as you normally would during the season. If you need to, you can add a few extra plants into your beds. You'll need to do these as transplants as opposed to seeds, as the weather right now is currently too cold for most seeds to germinate. You may need to look at one of the garden centers to pick up some extra plants. Unfortunately, their stock is going to be extremely limited, and what they do have probably will not look particularly good. Please refer to our videos on selecting a plant from the nursery for information on selecting good stock for your garden. Seed starting indoors is an option. For those of you tomato and pepper lovers, I usually recommend getting your plants started indoors in late December or early January, if you have a setup that will properly allow these plants to grow through the early spring. Please come to our lectures on seed starting on January 2nd or January 12th at the Abilene Public Library. For more information on these events, please refer to our webpage or our Facebook page. Both of these will have time and actual locations for these events. Plants that can be planted in January are broccoli, kale, lettuce, peas, radishes, and spinach. Remember that any of these transplants will need to be hardened off for the cool temperatures before you plant them in the garden. Any cold weather plants that are ready can actually be harvested anytime during this season. Continue your projects for the winter. The cool weather of early winter makes for a good time to start a lot of the gardening projects that were put off during the summer's extreme heat. Some of these projects can be starting a compost pile, building a new vegetable bed, or building large structures such as arbors or pergolas. Remember, if you're using integrated pest management practices as we recommend, a lot of the garden cleanup will wait until February or early March. Leaving the garden messy will allow bugs to overwinter in your garden. While this means the pests will survive the winter, it also means that the predators that feed on those pests will survive also, and they'll be ready to come back and munch on those pests as soon as they can in early spring. Well, that is all for today. Thank you for watching this video. If you've learned something, please like the video. If you have found our video series helpful, please subscribe and hit the notification bells to be alerted when we produce new videos and have them up on YouTube for you. We will be putting out a new What to Do in Your Garden Next Month video approximately the last week of every month. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep gardening.